The housing's loose again. What did you do to this thing?
You'll have it fixed by Mudtown. With currents and wind conditions, we can be there in 3 days. The mist should be leagues from here.
Well, it saved us a trip.
Senna?
Hey, we don't run from darkness.
We light the way.
Belong here.
I have crossed through death and ruination to get back to her. Return, my queen.
You will destroy this world.
She is my world.
We have to go back for her.
Senna? We can't defeat him alone.
Hi, I'm Ryan Reeve Morales, the lead producer of the Champions team. And I want to take a little time to talk with you about some of the plans Champions team has in store for 2021. So last year, we set a goal to ship at least one new champion in every position, with the exception of mid lane, where we wanted to have both a mage and a Melee champion. We believe that players shouldn't have to go longer than a year to get a new champion to try in their role. So this is something we plan on doing again this year. Up first on that list is a new jungler, one you just saw in the opening cinematic. That's right, we're finally bringing Viego, the Ruin King, into League as a playable champion. At long last, he's more than just an item, and to prove it, here's a quick peek at the new gameplay he'll be bringing to the Rift. If you want to try him out yourself, he'll be hitting PBE very soon and goes live later this month. So Viego's release is just the start of the Ruin King story, and the next 3 new champions we will be releasing this year will also tie into Viego's return. Now for a while, we've been wanting to add more magic damage fighters, especially one tailor-made for top lane. We believe snipping a bigger space out of our roster for AP fighters will not only lead to more diversity in top lane, but also more choices for other lanes as well. And with that goal in mind, we began to sew together a new champion for the Ruin King's return. But where do their loyalties lie? With Viego or with Senna and Lucian in the fight for hope? Also, for our internet sleuths out there, we hid a small Easter egg for this champ in the Ruin King game, so let's see if any of you can find it. So after we pass through the new skirmisher, the next champion after that is a gloomy new artillery mage who would prefer if we just didn't even bother her at all. I mean, I don't blame her. These days there's so much skill shots and dashes and hyperactivity around Summoner's Rift. Either way, as tiring as all these champions can be, shooting skill shots everywhere, sure beats being back in that happy-go-lucky Bandle City. She would choose anything over that colorful, horrible, bright place. Now the third champion that'll be part of the Ruin King's return is a marksman, but much like Senna, they are planned for a non-traditional position. It's a bit too early though to say more about this champ, so look out for future roadmaps for a new Sentinel of Light. Now that we've talked about some of our plans for new champions, let's get right into VGUs. So first of all, we're still hard at work on the Dr. Mundo update, which should go live this spring. We really want to amplify Mundo's whole dark comedy theme while bringing his visuals up to date as well. Last time we shared his new concept, we heard a lot of feedback from players that his hair was a bit too well-groomed for Mundo. We talked as a team about that, and we agreed with it. So we updated it to look less well-kept, as you can see in the new portrait art shown here. Now as for his gameplay, we still want Mundo to go where he pleases, chucking cleavers along the way, so we'll be keeping a lot of what you love about Mundo intact. But look out for a new dev blog this week that'll go way deeper into Mundo's development. Finally, we announced another player choice VGU poll last year, and while we didn't quite make it for 2020, we're happy to say it's coming this week. You'll be able to choose which champion you think we should update next. The poll will include 5 champions, 2 returning champions in Shyvana and Nocturne, as well as 3 newcomers in Udyr, Quinn, and Skarner. But before casting your vote, you can learn more about why we chose these champions, what we would consider changing on them, so that you can make the best, most informed decision on who to vote for. This will be coming in a dev blog along with the poll this week. So that wraps it up for Champions Team. I can't wait for you all to see the new champions we have in store for Viego's return, as well as what you think of Mundo's VGU progress. Thanks for watching, and see you on the Rift.
Hey everyone, I'm John, aka Bellissimo, and I'm the product lead for personalization and events here on the League dev team. Let's not waste any time and get into some of the things that we have planned for 2021. With over 150 champions in League, there are a lot of mains to make skins for. So in 2020, we stepped up the number of skins that we ship each year, in hopes that champion mains would no longer have to wait years between skins. But that doesn't mean our work is done. There are still some champions who haven't gotten a skin in a while. So this year, you can expect something for Fiddlesticks, Tom Kench, Corky, Camille, Galio, Lulu, Nautilus, Wukong, Nunu, Sejuani, Rumble, Yumi, and Twitch. If your favorite champion isn't on the list, don't worry. There are lots more to come as we plan to ship over 140 skins this year. This also includes some skins for our more popular champions, including Vayne, Caitlyn, and Blitzcrank. For any given thematic, there's only so many champions that really make sense in that world. With us making more and more skins every year, it means that we run into a problem that we call thematic exhaustion. This means that we've either run out of champions that work well in a thematic, or players show their lack of interest through purchase rate, play rate, and feedback. All of this indicates that we should keep trying new things. We'll still be revisiting some of our most popular thematics this year, like Project and Battle Academia, but we also want to explore new worlds. In February, we'll be celebrating Lunar New Year with a brand new thematic. Set in 2057, the Year of the Ox. Lunar Beast is a world where futuristic cityscapes and ancient temples collide. High-fashion streetwear with a touch of traditional elegance is the style of this year's Lunar New Year celebration. Here's a first look at Fiora, Jarvan, and Alistar, who are all part of this year's Lunar Beast squad. If psychedelic retrofuturism in space is more your vibe, then good news. Our second major thematic of the year is Space Groove, an eccentric take on a sci-fi universe full of far-out fun and color. The laws of physics and logic don't always apply here, but some of our favorite champions just really dig that, man. We have lots of ideas for new thematics, and we'd love your help in prioritizing which ones you want to see the most. So this week, we're holding a player choice vote between 3 thematics that we've been exploring, codenamed Monster Tamers, Crime City Nightmare, and Debonair 2.0. Monster Tamers is a world where champions harness powerful creatures from across Runeterra to challenge each other in high-stakes matches. In Crime City Nightmare, we focus on the crimescape that is Valoran City, where a street war takes a dark and horrifying turn, as a mysterious figure introduces those desperate for power to an ancient Cthulhu-inspired evil. Finally, we have Debonair 2.0. In a world where powerful elixirs grant extraordinary abilities, 2 rival clubs vie for power. Classy opulence meets modern noir as champions work together to take back what they believe is theirs. We're going to ship whichever thematic gets the most votes this year, and we may revisit some of the others later, depending on your interest and feedback. We've been working to improve events on League, and this year, there are 3 main areas we want to focus on. For starters, we're going to keep running featured game modes alongside every major event. One of our biggest learnings last year was that players most actively played modes that amplify champion fantasies. For example, in Earth, we amplify fantasies by asking, what if my champion could cast all the time? Or in One for All, we ask, what if my champion got to stack with itself? We believe that there are other interesting ways to amplify champion fantasies, and we'll be exploring a new mode in 2021, as well as bringing back our existing roster of rotating game modes. The second area we'd like to focus on is the Event Pass system. 2020 was a crazy year, and while we were able to ship a lot of content, we weren't able to get to some of the Event Pass changes that we were hoping to. We think clarity and ease of experience can improve a lot, and we'll be sharing more details on our plans to revamp the system in the first half of this year. Finally, one of the things that made Spirit Blossom stand out from other events was that it was centered around the lore of Runeterra. We've gotten feedback that you want to see Runeterra stories move forward, the world evolve, and League's champions continue their journeys. At the end of Spirit Blossom, Ahri and Yasuo left Ionia on an adventure to Bilgewater. Their story will continue in The Ruined King, a League of Legends story. But things aren't going to end there. Fiego's back, and we'll be following his path of destruction in League PC later this year. Where will the ruination spread next? Who can stand up to the Ruined King? And who will fall? Thanks so much for watching. The only reason we get to do any of this cool stuff is because of your continued support. So on behalf of the League dev team, thank you.
Hello, I'm John Needham, and let's talk esports. As you dive in to rank up this year, our pro players are gearing up for their own competitive journey. Starting with the LPL this weekend, and across the globe throughout the month, LoL esports teams will be vying for supremacy on Summoner's Rift. But first, I want to touch on what's in store in our new emerging competitive scenes. Let's start with League of Legends Wild Rift. We're putting our mobile version of League in the hands of many players around the world. The Wild Rift open beta has been very successful, and we're excited about the future. Like League PC, it's wildly competitive, with the depth, complexity, and high-stakes moments that make for a great sport. While it's still incredibly early, we're all very excited to bring our passion and dedication for esports to mobile. We're committed to building this authentic League experience for years to come, and planning to get things started with Wild Rift Esports in 2021. Stay tuned for more updates later this year. We're also excited to evolve Teamfight Tactics Esports this year. Players from all over the world competed in our first global championship last year, celebrating the Galaxy set. The international fan response exceeded our expectations, and this year we're upping the ante. Not only will each set have a global championship event, but we'll also be investing more in regional qualifying events and prize pools. For Legends of Runeterra, it's time to stoke the fires of competition. In 2021, players can compete in exciting region-wide tournaments hosted entirely in-game. Players will join the competition through ladder or qualifier events and work to earn their spot on the next big tournament. Once they've qualified, over 1,000 players will face off to compete for cash prizes and the pride of being the best in their region. Of course, we're all here today to kick off a new season for the biggest esport on the planet, League of Legends. It's crazy to think we've now got 10 years of incredible history, but we're not looking back. We're ready to redefine League of Legends esports for the next 10 years. You'll see it in the fresh new looks of leagues around the world. The LCK in Korea, LCS in North America, and CBLOL in Brazil. You'll feel it in the excitement of our sport's rising stars who are hell-bent on making a name for themselves. Join us on social at LOL Esports and also at lolesports.com. In 2021, we're also returning to China for our World Championship. Instead of the mostly virtual worlds you saw in 2020, we're planning to take our fans on a massive tour of multiple cities across China. Worlds 2021 aims to be the biggest esports tournament ever and one of the biggest sporting events on the planet. I'm pleased to announce today the host city of 2021 Worlds Finals, Shenzhen. This bold, modern city is on the rise, making it the perfect destination for the biggest moment in our sport. An exciting new city for the next chapter in LoL esports. With all this, and much more to come, 2021 is set to be our biggest season yet. We see this as a new beginning, and we're going to make our second decade of esports at Riot Games even better than the first. An exciting new era of LoL esports awaits, and it all starts today. Next starts now.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeremy, aka Riot Brightmoon, the lead producer for gameplay on League of Legends. I am so excited to welcome all of you to the start of Season 2021. Today I'm going to talk about some of the recent updates we've made to help you get ready for this new season, as well as some of the things we're working on that we haven't released yet. So let's get to it. This preseason, we've completely revamped League's item system to keep the game's foundation strong as it continues to evolve. Deciding which items to buy is part of your path to victory in every game. And item choices, stats, and effects should be clear and understandable. So we took a look at every item and talked about what was working well and what we could improve. Some items haven't changed much, but we've removed some others and added some new picks, all to make sure that each item has a clear and unique purpose in the game. One problem we especially wanted to solve was that most of the time, earning a powerful item just wasn't very rewarding. Getting your first big item should feel impactful, and champions of every playstyle should have multiple choices to be excited about. So we've added Mythics, a new item class with a powerful effect that shape the way you play each game. These open new strategic options and give you more control on how you want to play. And because Mythics are so powerful, you can only have one at a time, so choose wisely. Another area we focused on was the shop itself. We've wanted to improve the shop for a long time, but the technology it was using was too old and fragile. We've completely rebuilt the shop with new tech and tons of improvements. For example, we've smartened up the recommended tab to make suggestions based on what high-level players are building and which items are good against the enemy team. So if you're worried about having to relearn items, don't panic. The new shop's got your back. Updating such a foundational system is going to have a big impact on the game. So we're keeping a close eye on balance and what everyone is building, especially in these first few months. Thank you to all the players who've been giving us feedback along the way, and please keep it coming, because like the rest of League, the item system will continue evolving over time. In addition to the item system overhaul, we're making some changes to Ranked to prep for this season. So before you get started on the climb, which by the way you can do today, let's take a look at what's new. We know it's been frustrating to win streak into promos only to go 1 and 2 when the stakes are high. So we're removing promotion series between divisions. You'll still go through promos between tiers, like from silver to gold, but otherwise it's smooth climbing. This means that you'll no longer have demotion protection between divisions, but you'll still have that buffer once you reach a new tier. We also know that starting a new season just to grind back up to where you finished the previous one can feel a little tedious. So we've adjusted the way that provisionals work. This year, you should start your climb closer to where you ended. And for all of us sweaty hopefuls, Master Tier and above unlocks immediately with the new rank season, which means the race to be first in Challenger is open today. There's still a minimum LP requirement for Grandmaster and Challenger, but no more waiting 2 weeks for it to unlock. It's ready now, if you are. Finally, we've been making some improvements to matchmaking and player behavior features. Over the past 6 months, we've been improving our detection and punishment of players who quit or intentionally ruin the game for others. While we still have a lot to do, we've been able to improve detection of players intentionally feeding by 40%. And we're also seeing meaningful decreases in players AFKing in games. But even if it's happening less, when it does happen, it can be really frustrating. So one of the big highlights we've recently shipped is LP mitigation. So now you don't lose as much LP when someone on your team AFKs in ranked, and players who leave will also lose more LP for abandoning their team. We'll talk more about our additional plans here soon, as we hope to make more changes that encourages everyone to work together to get to that victory screen. It was a long time coming, but I'm happy to say that we've had a great first year of Clash. Over 28 million players played Clash in 2020, and we want to keep that momentum going. This year, we want to make sure that everyone who wants to play Clash can participate. So we're looking at improvements to the Free Agent tab. Right now, a group of 4 can find their missing player, but we're also exploring a way for free agents to find themselves a team. We're also going to test running Clash tournaments during the week, so that those of you who work weekends will still have your shot at glory. Or going 0-3 like I usually do, although I swear I have won a Clash once. The first Clash tournament of 2021 starts next weekend. We know it'd be a little much to finish all of your placements before then, so for this tournament only, you don't need to be placed in ranked. Looking further towards the future, we want to focus on improving the systems that exist around the game. And let me tell you, League has a lot of these. Ranked, Honor, Summoner level, Champion Mastery, Event Passes, you get the point. Needless to say, there's a lot going on, and it doesn't always feel like things are working together. Spending time in League should feel meaningful, no matter how you're doing it. And we want to bring all these complex systems together in a way that gives you clear progress and rewards for everything that you do. We also want to recognize your personal accomplishments and playstyle and show them off to other players. So whether it's flexing on your friends with your rank, celebrating your skin collection of your favorite champion, or just how many champs you have Mastery 7 on, we want the way you play to feel meaningful and easy to show off. Now, we're still in early development on all this, but we'll share more later this year. Now, good luck with your climb in ranked, your rerolls in ARAM, and snatching that Clash trophy with your friends. Thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing all of you on the Rift.